This rock looks worthless, but it's holding a secret. We're about to force it to bleed pure, molten gold, using nothing but fire. This is an ancient art forgotten by time that turns solid stone into liquid treasure. You have to see it to believe it. The ancient bond between fire and gold has shaped legends and empires. Long before chemical acids or industrial machines, people faced raw, stubborn rock, believing only one force in nature could reveal the treasure inside: fire. Picture an unyielding stone pulled from the earth, its surface showing nothing more than dull, iron-stained quartz. Deep inside, invisible to the naked eye, a thread of gold lies trapped. The only tools available were elemental, no modern chemicals, just flame, stone, and sheer human persistence. This story of separating gold from rock is not about advanced skill, but about immense patience, danger, and a deep respect for one of nature's most resistant secrets. This journey of transformation, however, does not begin with the fire itself. It starts with the careful preparation of the stone, the foundation for everything that follows. The first critical action happens long before fire touches stone. It is the careful selection of the rock itself. Not every stone will yield gold, and the untrained eye is easily deceived by glittering impostors. Learning to distinguish true gold from pyrite, or fool's gold, is an essential skill. Pyrite deceives with sharp, brassy cubes that flash a harsh light. Real gold, however, reveals itself differently. It rests in smooth, organic veins or as rounded specks that catch the light softly, emitting a warm glow as if sunlight were frozen inside the stone. Holding the right rock is the true beginning of this entire journey. Fire will not create gold where none exists. It can only liberate what is already trapped. This correct choice sets the stage for the next physical challenge. With the right rock selected, the physical work begins. Fire alone cannot conquer an entire unbroken stone. Its immense mass must first be reduced, weakened, and prepared for the dance with flame. This is a contest of raw force. Hammers strike, stones are cracked violently against each other, or one is hurled against another until it finally splits. The quartz resists stubbornly, but it inevitably fractures under the relentless pressure, sending shards flying like sharp glass. Each piece broken down serves a single purpose: making the fire's work easier. This physical deconstruction is critical because fire is most powerful when it can penetrate to the very heart of the stone. The jagged fragments are finally gathered into a pile, their edges glinting, a testament to the effort. Now, this prepared material demands a flame built with equal intention. The flame required to release gold is no ordinary campfire. It must be fierce, concentrated, and capable of sustaining immense heat for hours. Ancient gold seekers understood a critical secret: charcoal. It burns far hotter and steadier than wood alone, providing the necessary intensity. They would prepare a shallow pit or a simple stone enclosure, carefully lining it before filling it with these black chunks of carbon. Each piece waits, holding potential energy, ready for a single spark to unleash it. Once ignited, the fire grows with intention, feeding on itself and stretching toward its purpose. This carefully constructed furnace is the true beginning of the extraction, where intense heat will launch its assault on the stone. The first stage of separation begins as heat creeps into the heart of the stones. Gold itself remains stubborn, refusing to melt until it feels the extreme breath of fire. Its prison, the quartz veins holding it captive, is far more vulnerable. This quartz is brittle, and as the temperature climbs, it expands and cracks, unable to withstand the immense pressure. Each pop and split echoing from the roaring flames is an audible signal the rock's ancient prison is weakening from within. Flames do not rush the process. They must be patient, licking slowly, allowing the thermal shock to soak deep until the stone cannot endure. This powerful moment is the first miracle. Fire's invisible fingers of heat pry open its grip, forcing the rock to betray its weakness. This fracturing prepares the stone for the next crucial and more violent stage of its surrender. The cracking of quartz under thermal shock is only the first victory. With the stone's prison weakened, the delicate work of liberation begins. Glowing red rocks are carefully pulled from the fire, their internal structure now fragile and ready to surrender completely. A swift, hard blow is all it takes. Heat has made the quartz so brittle that it shatters instantly, exploding into a cloud of useless powder and sharp shards. The stone that was once unyielding disintegrates under the force. Amid this chaos, a fundamental law of physics reveals the treasure. The gold does not shatter, it resists. Heavy and malleable, it endures the impact, falling cleanly away from the worthless dust and ash. This critical separation is not a single miraculous event, but a demanding, repetitive cycle. Each piece of promising rock is subjected to the same grueling process: burning, heating, breaking, and painstakingly collecting. With every repetition, the pile of golden fragments grows, a glittering testament to sheer persistence. The work is slow and incredibly laborious, each small piece earned through sweat and patience. The reward, however, is pure and untouched by modern chemicals or machines, a treasure as natural as the earth from which it came. The rock has now been forced to give up its secrets, fragment by fragment. This collection of gleaming specks, as precious as it is, represents only the first half of the journey. These raw pieces are not the final prize. Fire has served as a breaker of stone, but its role must now evolve. Uniting these scattered fragments into a single, enduring form requires an even greater understanding of flame's transformative power. The collected fragments now return to the fire, not to break stone, but for ultimate purification in the crucible of flame. Here, gold surrenders not to destruction, but to release. It softens into tiny molten beads that roll away from the stone and ash, a stunning visual of liquid sunlight condensing into physical form. Unlike other metals, gold does not burn or tarnish. It rolls lazily, its surface glowing with an eternal light that neither flickers nor vanishes. In the heart of the inferno, gold only becomes more purely itself, a testament to its enduring nature. This incredible transformation, however, presents a critical challenge. As the liquid metal gathers, it risks being swallowed and lost forever in the chaotic bed of ash and impurities, demanding an entirely new level of ingenuity. A critical challenge arises as the gold melts. The seeker must prevent the precious liquid from being lost in ash and impurities. To counter this, the fire's bed is prepared with small, clean hollows, creating safe zones where gravity can pull the gold to safety. Prospectors would line shallow depressions in stone with clay, placing them near the fire's base to catch the descending droplets. Other times, smooth leaves or shells were placed carefully. They would burn away in the inferno, but their fleeting presence would leave behind the golden traces they had collected. The specific method matters less than the fundamental principle, giving the heavy, molten gold a place to gather. This preparation allows the scattered droplets, now safe from the chaos of melting rock, to begin their journey toward one another. As the fire roars high and the quartz collapses into brittle fragments, the gold obeys its own law. Individual droplets find each other, joining and clinging together. What was once scattered dust becomes heavier, more noticeable pieces taking shape within the flames. The thrill of this moment is unmatched. No acid, no factory, just nature itself revealing its secret under the oldest force humankind has ever mastered. To witness gold come alive in the flames is to see the earth surrendering a treasure older than time. But this process does not end when the first beads appear. The resulting pieces are still scattered, fragile in their separation, clinging stubbornly to remnants of rock. With the fragments collected, their journey is not yet complete. What comes next is the final refinement, an art of purification that demands even greater skill. Smelting is not simply melting, it is the art of separation. The final refinement begins without chemicals or acids, using fire as the only companion. To achieve this, the ancient seeker prepares a flux, a discovery born not of science, but of pure instinct. They observed that adding certain natural materials to the fire caused impurities to cling to them. This simple addition allowed quartz, iron, and other debris to melt and mix with the flux, while the heavier, resistant gold separated cleanly. The choice of flux was a matter of location and knowledge. Ground limestone from a nearby cliff served the purpose. So too did desert sands with high silica content, or even borax-like salts. In other regions, The ash of salt-rich plants was the key. These materials, once cast into the fire, set the stage for the final purification. Once the natural flux is cast into the fire with the gold-bearing material, a remarkable separation begins. As the temperature soars, the impurities, quartz, iron, and other debris fuse directly with the flux. They transform into a glass-like waste product known as slag, which floats to the surface. But the gold refuses to join them. Heavy and chemically resistant, it slips away, pooling below the lighter slag in glowing droplets of pure liquid metal. The process is a testament to fundamental physics, understood through ancient observation. When the final bead of gold is carefully removed from the heart of the fire, it cools in an instant, shrinking from a molten sphere into a solid, tangible nugget. Though it may be small at first, no larger than a seed, it is unmistakably pure gold. This single, hard-won piece is the culmination of the entire ordeal, a tangible story of flame and persistence. The journey concludes, but its lesson remains. Gold does not yield easily. It demands patience, endurance, and respect for nature's oldest forces. To separate it from rock with only fire is to walk in the footsteps of those who first discovered its beauty thousands of years ago. Holding that final nugget, heavy and warm, is to know one thing with certainty. This is not just gold. It is time itself, forged in the depths of the earth and carried through fire. This entire process is a story of patience, resilience, and trust in nature's power. The flames fade, leaving silence, ash, and one eternal truth. This is Lix Gemstones, bringing you the untold secrets of gemstones and gold. Stay curious, stay relentless, and stay with us because the earth still has more mysteries to uncover.